We're going to talk about a few items for preparation in playing and practicing this etude. You will notice when you look at Tim's piece that there are three distinct sections in this, and we're going to start with the first section. First of all, quarter note equals 100. That's great to have happening as a goal. My fond philosophy for any student is rule number one, you can't play it up to tempo, fast, if that's, we're at actually Allegretto here, so medium fast. We can't get there unless we can play it slow and accurate first. That's a great guide to go with. So the first preparation would be to know where you're headed to. Check with the metronome so you know what 100 is going to eventually end up at. But then start so we go for accuracy of notes and rhythms. At this point, I always instruct students, let's set aside focus from articulations and dynamics and go with those notes and rhythms. So, the Allegretto, first section of this piece. I'm going to take it down for accuracy of those notes. You get the idea. That's going to help us make sure we're right on track. And I think a good sight view through that first section, maybe fingering is a great way to go as well. And then we're going to approach it little by little to start pushing the tempo a little bit. And rule number one for any player is if you can't play it accurate, that's where you're going to hold. Take that section and isolate that little glitch section you might be having trouble with, count it out, either get some assistance with it, check along with the metronome. I like to take it for every beat. I take my pencil, which I always have with me on the stand as I'm practicing, and I'll mark the beats right above each part of the beat in each measure. For me, that's a great help. Then I've got rhythmic accuracy from the get-go, and that's a great way to start practicing. I should also mention, if I'm going to set aside things like dynamics and articulation accuracy right away, I shouldn't say accuracy, but you know what I mean, concentrating on them. I'm also going to take something like a trill and set that aside for now. I want to get the basic sound. Since a trill is part of an ornament, I want to wait until later to add that. That's the beginning of this. The second thing I would do on this, I'm going to scan the section. Once I have those notes and rhythms down, I'm going to look for the dynamic contrast and contour. So now, I see in the first line, I start at mezzo forte. By the end of that first line, I'm all the way at a forte, so I've gone one full dynamic level up. And I want to reflect that now I've got this down for note accuracy, to add that dynamic quality. Little by little, adding those dynamics. And any accidentals that I might have found myself missing, anything that I need to add in that for a reminder, again, I got my pencil handy. A little rhythmic reminder. There are lots of unique little rhythmic and time signature contrasts in this piece. It's very cleverly written. Measures 15, 16, and 17 all share a common rhythmic trait, and that is the addition of a sextuplet in that rhythm. It's always chromatic, but most important, remember that sextuplet is taking up one entire beat. So be sure to count it out no longer than, no less than one beat and be accurate. And as again, since it's just a chromatic line every time it occurs, pretty easy to play with careful practice.